Hello and welcome to United Report. This is your home for all the latest Manchester United news, match updates, transfer stories, and in-depth analysis. Stay connected and never miss a moment. Subscribe now to stay ahead with everything happening at Old Trafford. The transfer drama has officially begun, and trust me, you don't want to miss a second of it. Europe's biggest clubs are moving fast, and blockbuster deals are already flying in before the window even swings open. But before we dive into the full scoop, I need you to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because this summer is going to be wild, and you'll want to stay ahead of the game. From Real Madrid's jaw-dropping £50 million signing, to Liverpool's bold right-back shake-up, to Kevin De Bruyne possibly joining a Premier League rival, this isn't just transfer talk, this is transfer warfare. Let's get into it. The summer transfer window is right around the corner, and Europe's biggest clubs aren't wasting time. Real Madrid have already made the first major move of the summer, announcing on Saturday that they've signed Dean Huijsen in a £50 million deal. Bournemouth defender Huijsen will make the switch on June 1st, allowing him to represent Real at the Club World Cup. The newly expanded tournament is why FIFA have sanctioned 2 summer transfer windows, the first of which runs for the opening 10 days of next month. That gives the likes of Liverpool an opportunity to get their business done early, with Jeremy Frimpong chosen to be Trent Alexander-Arnold's replacement at right back. That's despite the Reds announcing that Conor Bradley had put pen to paper on a new long-term contract at Anfield. Elsewhere, Manchester United remain in advanced talks with Matthias Cunha, while Arsenal's striker search is continuing. Manchester City are also preparing for a big summer, having lost the FA Cup final to ensure their first trophyless season since Pep Guardiola's maiden campaign in 2016-17. Jeremy Frimpong will reportedly have a medical in the coming days ahead of his £29.5 million switch to Liverpool. The Reds have reached a full agreement with the Dutch right-back, and Bayer Leverkusen have been informed that they'll pay his release clause. Multiple reports suggest that Frimpong, 24, will finalise his move before the international break early next month, and the Netherlands star can't wait to become a Liverpool player. Frimpong will sign a 5-year contract. Manchester City are ready to splash another £180 million to land Liverpool target Florian Wirtz, as well as Tijani Reinders, ahead of next month's Club World Cup. City are on a mission to rebuild Pep Guardiola's squad after investing £180 million during the January transfer window, and have made Bayer Leverkusen playmaker Wirtz and AC Milan's Reinders their top targets. Leverkusen are demanding in excess of £100 million for the Germany international, and that has not discouraged City, who could offer James McAtee as a £25 million makeweight. Milan have made it clear City will have to break the Italian club's £56.3 million transfer record they once banked for Kaka to land creative Dutchman Reinders. Kevin De Bruyne remains open to joining a Premier League rival once he leaves Manchester City. De Bruyne, 33, is due to be out of contract next month, although the Belgian midfielder could sign a short-term extension to feature in the latter stages of the Club World Cup. I want to play good football, whatever the decision will be. I know you're trying to guess where I'm going to go. I will make my decision, and you guys will know when I know, De Bruyne told reporters after City's 1-0 defeat to Crystal Palace at Wembley on Saturday. I don't know. It depends who comes in for me. I have a family, I have young kids, and I have to make a decision that suits everybody, not just me. When I'm 20 years old and all by myself, I can make a decision that's very easy, but now it's a bit more complex. Manchester United captain Bruno Fernandes and his predecessor Harry Maguire rounded on Alejandro Garnacho during their side's defeat to Chelsea on Friday night. United slipped to a 1-0 reverse at Stamford Bridge. It was their 18th loss of the season, their 3rd successive defeat, and their 8th consecutive Premier League game without a win. That latter feat is a new club record for the embattled Red Devils. The goal came about after neat play from Chelsea saw the play switched from left to right. The ball ended up with Blues skipper Reece James on the edge of the box, with Garnacho marking him. James pulled off a pirouette, leaving Garnacho in his wake, before digging out a cross towards the far post. That was where an unmarked Marc Cucurella was waiting to head the ball past Andre Onana. That proved to be the only goal of the game, with United failing to deliver much in terms of an attacking threat. Garnacho had only just come on in place of Mason Mount and quickly found himself at the ire of his teammates. Both Fernandes and Maguire were spotted angrily gesturing to Garnacho after Cucurella's goal. It was the latest low point in what has been a miserable season for the Argentine winger. He has found himself out of favour since Ruben Amorim replaced Erik ten Hag as manager. This was his second successive Premier League game starting on the bench, having only played 30 minutes in the defeat to West Ham. It means Garnacho is highly unlikely to start next week's Europa League final against Tottenham, and legendary United skipper Roy Keane has urged Amorim to move on from Garnacho, as well as fellow academy graduate Kobbie Mainoo and striker Rasmus Højlund. No, I wouldn't be hanging my hat on them three to get Manchester United back to where they need to be. Mainoo comes on tonight. I watched him closely. He's strolling around the place. Some of his passes were sloppy. Garnacho, he's immature, Keane told Sky Sports. You want players for the big clubs, you turn up week in, week out. And he doesn't do that. He's got a bit of talent. He makes some good runs, and he threatens in behind. And on his good day, you think, listen, I like what I see. But he's got too many bad days. And Højlund, in his defence, I think he should have probably been a backup striker. A third or fourth choice and learn his trade off 2 or 3 brilliant strikers. The fact when he came to the club that he was going to be the main man, he's not good enough. He's certainly obviously lacking in confidence and belief. And he's not surrounded by brilliance either. So, the problems that we've spoke about United all season are still there. If people think they can fix that in one summer, then it's not going to happen. Ruben Amorim has crashed to a fresh low in his disastrous reign in charge of Manchester United, with the Red Devils now winless in 8 Premier League games. It is a new unwanted club record for Amorim's miserable side. The record was set by a poor defeat to Chelsea on Friday night. To make matters worse, United were playing in front of controlling co-owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe, who was in the stands at Stamford Bridge. Amorim had named a strong side for the trip to the capital, somewhat surprisingly ahead of next week's Europa League final. But the visitors were blunt in attack and offered little of note. The Blues secured all 3 points thanks to a late header from Marc Cucurella. The Spanish left-back lost his marker to powerfully head home an excellent cross from captain Reece James. The defeat leaves United down in 16th place, 27 points behind 5th place Aston Villa and a gigantic 44 adrift of champions Liverpool. It also means that Amorim has set a fresh mark among United's worst ever managers. The loss at Stamford Bridge was their 18th league defeat, their most in a season since losing 20 in the 1973-1974 campaign when they were relegated. United have also now gone 8 league games without a win, a club record in the Premier League. It is their worst run since an 11-game winless run between December 1989 and February 1990. The run started with a defeat at Nottingham Forest, before a draw with Manchester City and a hammering at Newcastle. They were then beaten by struggling Wolves before being held by 10-man Bournemouth. Their last 3 games have all ended in defeat, against Brentford, West Ham, and now Chelsea. It is Amorim's second run of losing 3 successive Premier League matches with United. He also achieved the awful feat in December. That is only one fewer run of 3 consecutive defeats than Sir Alex Ferguson had across his 810 games in the competition. More concerningly for Ratcliffe is the fact that since the start of April, United have won fewer points than any other Premier League side, drawing 2 and losing 6 of 8 games in that time. In a clear sign where their make-weakness lies, the Red Devils have now failed to score in the first half of 26 Premier League matches this season, their most ever in a single campaign. Indeed, no side has failed to score in more first halves this season. The defeat followed a furious rant from legendary United skipper Roy Keane. He fumed on Sky Sports. Manut must be embarrassed by this. What you want from players is go to good habits. What I see is the lack of fight, the lack of competing. You can forgive teams for losing, but when the manager is coming up most weeks and is scratching his head. Amorim's head is spinning from being Manchester United manager. I get why he thought, I didn't want to get into that mess until the summer. He will be glad to see the back of this season. Some of the games they have just written off. I've never heard so much chat from this club about next week's game. Don't think for 1 minute that this team is going to be top 4 or top 5. They've lost 17 games this season, but they lost 14 last year. It's not just this season. This team just doesn't know how to compete. This is the bit I don't get. Turning up week in, week out is the sign of greatness. And these players, every week they don't know how to compete.